Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in and watching. Our current guest, we had some audio issues and technical difficulties, so her audio that came in was through the phone, so it might be a little lower and not as clear, and there were some issues with it cutting out a little bit and stuff like that. So we do apologize, but we're amateurs at this, so appreciate you watching, and to the episode. Thanks, guys.
Welcome back. We're on season 2, episode 4. We are here with Dawna Strauss. Thank you so much for joining us. She's here with from Dink Date, which is an AI pickleball dating app, or matchmaking app, whether that's for dating or platonic. So we're excited to have you here. Thank you for joining us. We'll just get into our highs and lows.
Yeah.
So Rob,
as usual.
Yeah, Rob can go first, as usual.
So my low would be I played in a tournament this weekend, a 3v3 males, and we had such a bad time. We won our first game, lost our second round of 3v3 against a really good team, which is no surprise we lost to them because they're really good players. But then we lost against probably the worst players there, and it just showed that we were probably the worst players. We just couldn't get our crap together the rest of the night, and it set the precedence for the rest of the day. I was having brain fog the rest of the day. I was upset, and it was just a tough thing to get over because I think the three of us were really good players.
You are really good players,
but we just bombed it.
That's how it always works out, though. Yeah. When you go in thinking, oh my gosh, we got this. We're going to take it all.
I think it was winning the first game that probably got in our heads like, it's going to be easy, piece of cake. And then, no. I also got body bagged, too.
Oh, and then that immediately piss you off?
Yeah, by a guy wearing an oxygen tank on his back.
We're clipping that.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Yeah, we are. That's so funny.
But anyway,
the joys of pickleball.
Yeah, but it was fine, and he was a good sport about it and all that. Anyway, so I would say my high was I didn't break my paddle, so that was good. I only had one, but I wanted to so many times. I just wanted to smash my paddle. It's the simplest thing that you're driving, you're making all these great hard shots, and then you go for a simple dink over the net, and it goes into the net, or it goes into the net instead of over,
or just dies on your paddle.
Yeah, or
I've been doing that, and I keep telling myself it's my paddle and not me.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
Look at your paddle, right? And you're just like, "Why are you doing this to me?"
Yeah, you piece of shit.
But so that was my highs and lows.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, wait, did you have a high?
Yeah, I just said I didn't break my paddle.
Oh. Okay, then. All right, Dawna, you're up. What were your highs and lows?
My high was the tournament this weekend. It was amazing. I was able to do a same gender tournament as well as a mixed gender. So both different days. So that was amazing, and I was able to. It was at the Lunar New Year's event at the hub where I go in Silicon Valley, and there's 300 players and 25 vendors each day.
Oh wow!
And it was awesome. So I really enjoyed that. But my low was probably we didn't make the medal, which is fine. We had a good time. We came close to bronze. We at the last games we had to play best of 2 to 3 games, so we lost one and won one, so the other team won. So anyways, the main thing is that we had a good time, right?
Yeah,
we're already thinking about the next tournament. So.
Yeah,
true.
That's great. I would say my highs and lows. I actually had a couple of highs. I did a Galentine's event with some girlfriends last night, which was so fun. And I also was a part of the Utah High School Pickleball Association. We had another championship yesterday. So that was kind of all day. I left my house at 6 a.m. and we were there until almost 6 p.m.
Oh, wow.
But it's far away. It was like an hour away in Harriman. And so the event went really well. It was really fun to support these high school students. And Dawna, for you or information and anybody that's listening, at the Utah High School Pickleball Association is just a club that we're trying to get pickleball sanctioned in Utah high schools. So I just kind of volunteer my time every Saturday, and we've had meets since the fall, and we are just kind of, next weekend will be our last weekend of the season.
Yep.
This past weekend was gender doubles, and then next weekend will be mixed doubles. We had championships. We have 2 different divisions, and so we had team event and then singles. So it's been a lot of fun, but I'm ready to have my Saturdays back. I'm so tired. And these kids are so great, but their parents are buttholes sometimes. And so it's been, I mean, I think we've talked about it the last few weeks because there's been some drama, but it's
sports
the worst.
Parents can be the worst.
Like the worst part of high school sports is the parents, I think. So the kids are great. But yeah, that was kind of my high and low. I guess my low is like lack of sleep. I'm just tired and I think worn down today. So forgive me for not being super like my regular upbeat. So, but yeah. Okay. Let's get into learning about you and this dating app and how it came to be. But I first just want to ask, like, are you a pickleball player? I mean, I know you just mentioned you were in a tournament, but like, how long have you been playing? What got you started? Did you have family playing, or kind of what drew you to it?
I depend on pickleball on a daily basis. Really, my check. So yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm an enthusiast, 110%. And my other half, he's a pickleball player. He's a lot better than me, but it's okay. I learn a lot from him. But we that's the one thing, we have one shared interest too. So we another commonality, and it's wonderful, right? So, but yeah, I can't really see myself not playing, right? Used to be a tennis player, but honestly, I haven't played tennis for a couple of years now. I mean, because I've literally moved on to pickleball, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so as far as, you know, just the app itself, you know, I built this from the outside looking at. So I built it from like the court, you know, and up. So like many people playing this game, you know, I picked up a paddle. I was just thinking, you know what, this is just a fun sport. It completely changed my life, literally. And I don't know if you agree with this, but the energy, the instant community, the laughter between points, you know, it's the banter, the sport, you know, sport, it has complete strangers in it, right? Mm-hmm. But you can become friends instantly in the game.
So true.
Yeah.
Human connection is literally the heartbeat of Dink Date. So, you know, and it literally, that's really going into what's inspired me. So I kept watching, you know, what happens on the court. So there's room for a deeper connection. So the people meeting, there's chemistry forming. You know, people exchange numbers. You know, everyone's, you know, talks, laughs, but there wasn't. And, you know, at the time when I was a platform for this lifestyle, right? So as I mentioned, it's based on one shared interest, right? So traditional dating apps, they don't understand the court culture. Does that make sense? So, so I thought, well, why not? Let's build the first AI platform and have people, enthusiasts, actually connect in real life through play, through movement, through that shared passion. So that's how Dink was born.
So I'm curious, what drew you to the AI piece of it? I mean, I guess because everything's kind of driven by AI, but is that something that you've been interested in, like personally, as far as, or like that you use on a regular basis? I know a lot of these people have like these AI assistants now helping them. And like, is that kind of what, or is it just...
It might be. I mean, there's probably no other way to go about it now. AI is in everything.
That's true.
Yeah. 18, right? And so, you know, I said, hey, after college, I mean, he actually wants to follow my footsteps. So to answer your question, I've been in cyber security / AI for almost 20 years. I thought, well, pickleball's a niche, AI is a niche. It's the fastest growing sport in the world. There needs to be an application that is in parallel with that. Yeah. So why not? And I think because I've been in tech for a long time, it just kind of naturally
that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Because to me, I mean, I'm not in tech; I do HR. So, like, the human aspect of this is, I think, what like kind of draws me to like being so interested in your app. And but I guess I just am a big dummy when it comes to technology. As you can tell, we've had a lot of technical difficulties today, guys. But I guess it wouldn't have like been the first thing that crossed my mind. So I think that's awesome. That's so great. You were able to kind of marry those things up together.
I appreciate that. And, I can definitely explain how this all kind of is in a nutshell. So our AI doesn't, start with just selfies, right? It starts with lifestyle, behavioral matchmaking. I'm a pickleball enthusiast. So the proprietary algorithm learns how often you play, your skill level, your location, and then it matches you with people that are a true fit on an individual rhythm and not just your look, right? So, does that make sense?
Yeah, it'll match people up with Rob who also want to smash their paddles after a bad day.
Because that's all I got going for me, this look,
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Yes, it does make sense to me. I will admit I did try to download the app and I had some technical difficulties, which you did help me with, but I did not have time to go back. And so I'm excited to kind of play around with it, but and kind of learn exactly how those things connect. So I will report back to everybody because I am on all the dating apps. So I'll report back. But
I am not on the dating apps.
Yeah. No, he's in a relationship, so it's okay. Okay, so how did you pick the name Dink Date?
So I love this question. When it comes to the dink is the most iconic shot in pickleball, right? It's soft, it's strategic, and it requires touch and patience. So that's exactly how real relationships work, right? So Dink Date isn't just a name, it's philosophy. So soft game, strong connection.
Oh, I just got the chills, actually. That's like the perfect answer. I just thought it was such a clever name, like Dink Date, like DD, you know what I mean? But that's just such like that. I did get
a
the
lot
chills.
Of thought put into the actual name instead of just coming up with a clever name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That's great.
Dink Date serving with heart, right? So that kind of goes all together.
Yeah,
right?
Your tagline.
The tagline, yeah.
I love that. I think that's beautiful, honestly. Like, I don't know why I got chills. I think that's just so great. I love your answer to that. So, all right. So I know that a little bit you've kind of already answered how like the proprietary information kind of assisted with like the AI piece, but how does the AI actually work in the app? So I know you kind of mentioned a few things, but do you have anything else to add to that? But it mentions like, I think you either mentioned before or maybe something else about like the competitiveness. Like, is it something that I'm answering? Am I filling out a questionnaire, I guess? Like, so this would be my question for the app. Am I filling out a questionnaire that says, this is my skill level. This is where I play at this. I like to play competitively. I want to be matched up with someone who plays competitively. Or I guess like, am I going back into the app and saying, hey, I played on Sunday and I won and I'm upset about it. Like, how does AI
know that you're playing?
Yeah. Know that I'm
Or
playing.
How often you're playing.
Yeah.
Because are you scheduling pickup games with people through the app itself? Or
drop down menu, like, what are you looking for? Friend? Are you looking for love? Are you a beginner, intermediate, or advanced player?
Okay.
Where do you based on your biography and your little summary, based on your social media, because you put your social media links on there, right?
Oh, okay.
So it's all like the behavioral piece of it, right?
Gotcha.
So one factors that like everything that actually matters in this lifestyle is in there, right?
Gotcha.
So the level alignment, the competitiveness, the recreational energy, the frequency of play, your socials and versus your performance focus, and all your communication style when you're doing the chat back and forth, right? So it picks up all of that.
Okay.
It comes to that relationship intent and the friendship or the platonic, the romance part.
Mm-hmm.
It pick up those matches.
So how does it know, like, to avoid what a bad match might be, like a bad match for me? So if I, like, what I put in there, like, I don't want to meet anybody that I have to teach pickleball to, like, that's playing at a 2.5 or 3.0 level or something like that.
Or they smash their paddles.
Yeah. I want someone that's even.
So it removes randomness. So if one person wants like a gold medal tournament and the other just wants an open play and tacos, right?
Right.
That's not a good match. So
Gotcha.
no matter how attractive they are, right? So
well, I don't know. I'm just kidding.
So match based on life compatibility first.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Instead of saying, are they over 6 feet tall? Every inch they're over 6 feet tall, I let them be a half a skill level less.
They have to make 6 figures.
Too, like you guys, I feel like you can't force chemistry. It'll be there or not, right?
Right.
That's true.
If you have court chemistry, yeah, that's solid, right? But then it's like, okay, you're building one shared interest for that foundation, right? But you can't force it. It's either there or not.
Yeah,
I love that.
And even with a friend or even with love.
Right. I am curious. Did you, like, when you were deciding to do this and you mentioned like you noticed connections happening on the court, and a lot of those, were they, because I feel like sometimes like I get flirty with people, but then I hesitate to date somebody in the pickleball community. We've talked a lot about this month, Dawna. We've done a lot, like we've had actually different dynamics of couples that play together or don't play together on the podcast. And so we've talked a little bit, and because I am in the dating scene, I like hesitate, but it would be fun to kind of like align with someone who does play and that I can kind of like put, narrow down some of these things that I'm looking for if I was to engage with somebody in pickleball.
So here's the fun part of the app, and I love this. So the swiping days are over. So when you're on, let's say you're on the app, and I'm on the app, and I'm a guy. You're the girl, and I'm like, oh, I come across your profile. I'm like, oh, she's good looking or whatever, and then there's, she's the same skill set, she lives about 5 miles away. You know what? I think I'm gonna, so I'll press the heart and it'll go dink, and you'll be like, oh, I just got a dink.
I just got dinked.
And then you're like, oh, okay, so that starts the communication, right? And then let's say I do that and you're like, probably not a good match, right? So after reading my background and stuff like that, you could press the X and it'll flash kitchen. And that's like, okay, not, I got you, but I'm not interested. Move on. That's like the nice way of saying
nothing. Oh, yeah. And they've been kitchen zoned?
Yes.
Oh.
So everything, pickleball wordplay, pickleball animations, all this stuff. So everything is gravitated to a pickleball enthusiast. So let's say that is a match, right? And I go, hey, you guys, we're talking on chat, and I'm like, well, hey, let's go meet up. We're 5 miles away from the hub, and let's play a game, right? And so you meet on the court. You have a great time, and then just you kind of go from there, right? Yeah. So that's the way it is. That's and I was thinking, like, you know what, that's no better way to meet someone, whether, and you can become a friend, or you can and say, you know what, we're probably better off just friends, but you're not in a drinking social scene, you're not, you're in a community where you can go off and play with whoever, right?
Yeah, that's true. And better to meet your partner playing pickleball than at the bar and stuff like that. So,
100%.
Yeah.
actual genuine self, when you have alcohol in your system, it tends to shade your actual real personality, right?
That's true.
Yeah, 100%. And I think like when I'm on the pickleball court or when I'm around the pickleball community, that is when I feel like I'm my most authentic self.
Yeah.
And because I'm the most comfortable, this is what I love. These are my people. So yeah, I would say that is when I'm like feeling my most authentic self.
If you have other people around you, like, hey, this is, Rob or whatever, like, hey, nice, then it just kind of goes from there, right? So, if I were single, this is how I'd want to do it.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, me too.
I'm having a little. I'm actually sweating a little because I'm like, what do you mean introduce them to people? This is our first date. But I'm excited to try it.
It's also a safe way to do it because if you're playing in a social area, right, then you're not, because most first dates are at a coffee or something like that. You want to be meeting that first time in a social location.
In a public place, for sure.
That's, public place. Yeah. So, perfect.
I like it.
And if you don't really like them, then you just body bag them and then,
kitchen zone them.
Yeah.
You're done.
Or maybe that's one way of flirting. You body bag them. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe. That's funny.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So what, let's see what our next question is. Okay. What's the hardest part? What was the hardest part of building like this AI generated app, I guess?
I get that. I think the hardest part was like teaching technology to understand the human connection through a sport. So, because we're not just matching people sitting on the couch, we're matching people in motion in the community and like the real world environment. So, done before. And so, that was the hardest part.
Yeah, I think that would be hard, because that's, I guess, like you said, we're kind of over, your app isn't like the swiping culture. Like you are matching people who do things together. And how do you do that? Or are active, right? They do the same thing, maybe not things together, but they do the same act. They have the same, what's the word? Hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, yeah. And I think it's hard. So there's so many times I've joked about this, like on other dating apps, when I see somebody that's like, the question is like, what's your typical Sunday look like? And they're like, oh, I cold plunge. I'm like, nope. Like as soon as I learn what their hobbies are, and there's some cases where I'm like, we're not going to align because you're going to want me to cold plunge and I'm just not going to want to do it. And then that's going to be our first fight. Yeah. So yeah, I do not like being cold. Are you kidding me? But anyway, you know what I mean? Like there's just some people where I also notice like they don't have hobbies, or they do talk about just drinking or other things like that. So this is nice where you kind of already are being matched up with someone who has a similar hobby as you. But I guess that would be really hard to like to combine those two, like the AI feature with human connection. I guess, I don't know. That would be really hard.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned that you're not necessarily the programmer. So then also probably having to explain that to the programmer to where they're building.
I just put myself in the user's shoes. So I provided the blueprint of what, hey, this is what I want. This is what, if I was on the app myself, if I was just a user at monthly, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to know. But I made it to where like any 95-year-old grandma could figure it out, right? So as you know, the demographics of this game, of course, it is an adult app, but I mean, I've had 83-year-olds kick my butt, like literally, and there's 6-year-olds on the court now, right? So, not that this is for them, but
right,
I mean, it's just such a wide span, right? So, so I said, here's the blueprint. You guys do the coding. You guys do the security part. You guys make it happen. I want the wordplay. I want the animations. I want all of this. And yeah.
That's so nice. So I know you've kind of mentioned like it's not just for dating. So we kind of already answered that. And I think that's really nice. So you can answer a question that says it's not just for dating, right? And then what would you find outside of that? So you can put in there if you're looking for like a tournament partner or just a casual play.
Mm-hmm. So if you're on the app and you're looking at the selection of people in the left hand corner, it'll say love or it'll say friendship. So of course you're going to click on the person that you're looking for love. You're not going to like you're looking for love and you click on someone that's a friend looking for friendship. Then that's you're going to start off the wrong way anyways.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the subscribers have that option to find that friend to rally with or love, right? So it's a platonic a romantic partner on and off the court. So
I like that too, because I mentioned before I'm traveling to Florida. And so now I can maybe find some people at that skill level. Like I mentioned, and I don't know if that was before we had technical difficulties or after, but for our listeners, I'm going to Florida to visit my dad in a couple weeks and we're going to play in a tournament together. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I've find a different partner at a higher level. Sorry, Dad. Love you. I'm just joking. I want to play with my dad, but yeah. I did go to Florida at one point and was playing with him on like an open play, and it was like 3-0 players, and I saw what looked like 4 or 5 level players on the other set of course. So I went over there to see if I could jump in, and they were not friendly. I could not play with them. And it's probably because they saw me come from like the 3-0 courts, and they're like, no, but maybe I was playing like a 3-0. Who knows? But this would be nice for like traveling purposes, or when I'm traveling for work and I want to go play, but I don't really know who. And so not necessarily. So can you change your, like what you're looking for in your profile from like week to week? Like maybe this week I am looking for a date, but then when I go out travel, I don't want to find someone I'm going to fall in love with on the other side of the world, right? I'm just looking for people to play with.
Yeah, you can edit it. It's so simple. Yeah, you could edit that part.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a good feature.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. That's nice. You have to try it. Maybe you download. Well, you got to talk to Desiree first, but maybe you download it and try it when you go to Cheyenne for platonic situations.
No, not going to happen.
Yeah,
as much as I would like to test it out, it's not.
No, we'll test it out on mine. All right.
I do have a question, and I had it, and then I lost it. Gosh, dang it. Oh my goodness, what was it? Anyway, it'll come to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it something related to the AI feature or traveling or?
No. I know you're trying to jog my memory.
Yeah.
But I can't remember.
Okay, we'll move on then.
Yeah.
All right. So so one of the questions, and I think we might have answered this as well, is can you match by skill level or duper, competitive versus recreational? And I think you did answer that.
Yes. Because, nothing zaps that connection faster than a level mismatch.
Yeah. We're laughing because literally I think we ended the last week's episode with me saying I do not want to teach a man how to do anything, especially pickleball. I do not want to have to teach a man how to do anything. Yeah. But like I get that so much on these dating apps. It's, could you teach me how to play pickleball? No, I can direct you to a pickleball instructor. But no, that's not how I want to spend my first date, is teaching someone how to beat me at pickleball.
Yeah. It's just journey and know where you want to go. So, it's, this is the UI, the user interface and the user experience. They call it UI, UX. So UX stands for user experience. It's everything that you are going to experience in the app is my thought process behind it.
I'm excited to jump into your brain then. Yeah. So, and I know I sound like such an asshole, like saying that. And a lot of my personality, I'm very sarcastic, and any of our regular listeners know that. But there is a component to that, right? Like you said, like it kind of zaps that connection. There is a component. if I go and play with someone who's just learning, I'm going to get the ick real fast, guys. I just know it. I know that about me. I can't help it. I am who I am, but also it does make me feel a little intimidated to match with someone who's way above my skill level. And so, but I think that's where I would prefer to be. Anyways, there was something else now I was going to say and I lost it. Dang it.
Well, so here's a question, and I don't know if this was already covered. How long has the app been available?
Oh, yeah. That's a good question.
We went live last November, second week of November of 2025. So we just passed 90 days.
Awesome. Congratulations. That's great.
So Google accepted it first, and then Apple the next week. Apple has a lot of guidelines that we had to pass, and I'll never forget it because literally at 6:37 a.m. I got the email from them. I think it was November 7th. Yep. And it said, "Congratulations, we're officially online." And I was just like,
that's so great.
And literally, I cried for like a good 15 minutes because it was like happy tears.
Yeah.
Right? Then I was just like, wow, I've just, it was. I'll never forget it.
Well, yeah, because you saw all of your hard work finally come to fruition, right? Like it's live and people can start doing it. And now hopefully some of those success stories are going to start coming in. And that's really exciting.
If they haven't already, have there been any?
Yeah. I mean, this wasn't an overnight idea. It's been like a couple of years as far as vision and validation, the community and building the partnerships. So, because I've got like a sales / marketing background, and I'm networking all the time, but we've got a little over 51 solid collaborative partners. They're all on the website as well.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, we launched globally in 2025 November, and we're in current hyper growth right now. And I'm as you said, drinking the Kool-Aid, right? So,
yeah.
I love that. Congratulations. That's so great. Okay. So did you? Well, we asked if you had a tech background, and I think you said that you do in cybersecurity. And you mentioned something. You mentioned something else with that. Oh, AI strategy or something. Was that kind of how you, like your personal life or your career is driven that way?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in tech for almost 20 years. So I've been in cybersecurity and AI strategy. So, so I understand how to build the architecture, and the vision came to me right away, and the problem, what we were solving. So when I submitted that blueprint to the logo company in LA, they knew exactly what I was asking for to bring it to life.
Nice. So what was your biggest challenge then at that point? Because it sounds like it kind of came naturally to you, but I know that there was some growing pains. You said it was a couple of years, right? So what was the biggest challenge in that?
So the challenge was like not the technology, building something, but with the world that has never seen before, right? So it's a whole new concept, and getting people to understand this, it's a new category. It's
right
beyond. So we're not just a dating app. So that's one of its functions, as I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
We're the first and ever social lifestyle dating layer of the fastest growing sport in the world.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest component, right? Like I've mentioned to a friend that we had like that I had started a podcast, and he's like on pickleball, and kind of like didn't make fun of it, but kind of like seemed surprised that would be and I'm like, this is the fastest growing sport. Mm. And I really feel like there are people that are interested in us, I guess, and the guests that we have on, and to talk about it. But and then we have like the mental health component that's why we like to do our highs and lows. And some weeks we really dive into those aspects, and some weeks we talk about pickleball for 5 minutes, and sometimes we talk about it the whole time.
Yeah.
But I really do feel like it does not surprise me that there are pickleball specific dating or partnership match, like an app to match that up. Like this, it doesn't surprise me, and I think it will be really successful. So good for you for kind of seeing that and paving the way for those of us that are looking for matches.
Love. So that's it's very different.
Right.
So I looked at what's going on in everyone's personal life, whether they just finished having a relationship or whether they're looking for a relationship, right?
Right.
So,
And again, sorry for our listeners, I don't know if I mentioned this because for those of you guys, we haven't really explained, but we've had some technical difficulties. So we kind of started the podcast on another platform, and we had to switch over to use something else. And I can't remember if I said this before, but we had a guest on in November, Alicia. She was the Marine that we had on. And I just remember her saying she was having a hard time finding like pickleball matchups, like people that played at her level, that were her age, that could play when she could play. And so I like that this is something that I'll definitely send to her to download, because she's also single too. So she might even be looking for a partner.
Yeah.
But there wasn't, well, she was single when we last talked to her. I shouldn't say that, but I guess, is that something that you can also add in the app, like when you're available to play? Or is that something that you would connect, like once you make a connection with people? But because I guess that would be a big part of it. I have a lot of friends who play at a lower level. And so some of the people that they play with are older and can play during the day, and they don't have a community of people that play at their skill level in the evening where they can only play. Can you, is there a feature where you can kind of filter or say like, I usually play nights or nights and weekends or weekends only, or?
It doesn't get that granular.
Okay.
Because that's what you talk about,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Know someone, right? So, and that'll come out naturally, right?
Right.
Hey, yeah. Night, or I'm early morning, because I like to start my day playing pickleball. How about you?
Right.
It's just
your natural conversations, right? Okay. All right.
Well, since you reached your milestone of launching and everything, what's your next big milestone that you're hoping to reach within the next year or 2 years? That's a tough one, I know. Sorry.
deep and wide. So, we want international, we want US. Everyone to be like this time next year, like, how do you meet? Oh, Dink Date. Oh, Dink. Oh, yeah. That's a huge milestone. Like, just to have it known, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but of course, there are things that are coming that I'm not able to say right now, because as the entrepreneur, as I am, there are things that are going to be coming in that are complementary to the app itself. And so hopefully I answered that question.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to kind of see how it takes off and develops. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you kind of validate this idea? Did you talk to friends, and did they, like, friends on the court, and then, you said, hey, like, what if I created this app? Like, what are your guys' thoughts? Or yeah, like, tell us kind of how you felt validated in kind of moving forward with this.
Before the courts validated it. Before we ever launched, we had the real users, we had the partnerships, we had the events, we had real signups. But because all of that, because the need already existed.
Right.
Already.
Yeah. Because we're humans looking for connection, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it was validated. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I know you mentioned you have a partner, so we know you're not single. Did you guys meet on the courts? Because you said he plays as well, but he plays at a different level. Did he start playing first? Did you start playing first? How did you guys meet?
He introduced it to me, the sport, and then because we used to actually play tennis a lot before.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Beginning when we started dating, and then pickleball started getting popular, and he tried it. He's like, hey babe, you gotta try this out. And so I tried it and never looked back. So we have that one shared interest, so it's great.
I love that. So even though you guys don't play at the same level, do you guys are usually at the courts at the same time with different groups? Do you still get to play together? Do you drill together?
Hey babe, let's play a game, but let's just have fun. Win $1 million or anything, but I like to play with them because I learn different stuff, right? But also know that, as you guys know, in the sport, the weakest player always gets picked up, right?
Yeah.
Rob knows all about that. I'm just kidding.
Couldn't hold yourself, could you?
I couldn't. I had to throw something out there.
A lot of things, like when you're with your partner and you're playing, like with me too, and I'm less advanced as him. Like I'm thinking there's a lot of things going, like, oh, I got to do the shots right. There's so many things that are going on. And I was just like, you know what? It's probably best that we just do singles. And then every so often we'll play a doubles match. Right. But that's just the dynamic for us.
Right.
And it's different for everybody. Right. I mean, I've got friends, they're like, oh, hell no, I'm not playing with my other half, because we just don't, it just doesn't jive.
Right.
And then I go, yeah, we play all the time, right? So
yeah, that's exactly what we've had the last few weeks. That's what I wanted. I know of people in our community that play together and some people that don't, and they still play the same level, but they just choose not to play in most big competitive events together because they just know they're going to go home, maybe not together. I'm just kidding. But we know that, right? People, you can read each other's emotions on the court. We've talked about this all month, and it's been like, this has been one of my favorite segments. I obviously loved like the veteran one. I loved the mental. Actually, I loved all of ours, but I feel like this one's been really special because the majority of our listeners can relate in some aspect to all the different relationships dynamics that are happening on the court, whether that's you're single, in a relationship with someone who doesn't play pickleball, in a relationship with someone that you're constantly playing with, and every single time you're at the courts, they're there with you and you're on the same side of the court or against each other, or people who you show up together and then you just go your separate ways, kind of like the gym or something, right? So this is really interesting. But so thanks for kind of sharing the dynamic that you share with your partner.
Yeah, and it's the joke, hey, did you guys drive separate cars or
No, I got an Uber home.
Yeah. That's so funny.
So but it's fun. The game is amazing and it's healthy. It's a great way to meet someone, and but just, I don't know. I love it. I love to share it with everybody.
Right.
And
what paddle do you play with?
I play with the Selkirk. I knew you were gonna ask me this. So it's
the boomstick, the new one.
No, not the boomstick. No. It's the. Oh man, you're gonna ask me that.
No, it's fine.
Everybody, I should put that just in like the standard questions that we ask everybody, because
you could probably tell me, and I probably wouldn't know which one it is.
Yeah, just
by name, but visual, I typically know.
Is this you maybe like shopping for a new paddle? Is this why you ask everybody?
No.
Okay. It's the Epic Amp. It's the wide body.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I played with one of those before, like when I first started playing too. Yeah. I've played with like 4 or 5 different Selkirks. I really liked Selkirk for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to one of the questions that we asked. And you mentioned that, I think we asked like how it was validated. And you mentioned that before you even launched, you guys had real events. And I was curious if you could kind of elaborate on, was it like singles night, or like, did you hold events like that like were sponsored by Dink Date, that were like, come out if you're single and we'll do like a speed dating thing on the courts or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it was singles, and we do pop-ups all the time. We, with our partners as well. And so it's just more community based, right? So, And one thing I did want to mention is that I want to have more collaborative events with the partners as well. Probably not this time next year, moving on, but as well as doing more like glow in the dark pickleball challenges and stuff like that. And I do want to, because dating is part of the function. I don't want to just always look at dating. I just want to have it a broad scope. Like, hey, anyone that plays pickleball, come join it.
Yeah.
So because there's that friendship and love option.
Right. And it's building the community too.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you don't have that romantic connection or chemistry on the court with someone that's a platonic relationship, then you're still building the community, because you can still get along off the court and still find support in that person in a different way. Or you find a new drill partner. Maybe you don't have the chemistry together, but you find a new drill partner. And so that's pretty interesting too. I'm curious, because that's what sometimes feel like I'm always looking for a drill partner.
But yet, I'm sitting here.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Fine.
A real pickleball player, please.
All right. Okay. So then I think, and then Rob had asked about like success, like, and kind of mentioned that you had success, but do you have any specific instances of success stories since launching, or in your 90 days, or even before your 90 days, through some of these events and things? Like, did you find that people did find connection?
Yeah. So even if anyone that I've talked to a few people who have never picked up a paddle but have heard of pickleball, right? Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, it's so popular, right? So I think when it comes to realizing that this is like having the vision of the app, and then actually having it come alive, and then having all this other stuff coming together at one time, it is overwhelming, but for a good good energy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But as far as where we're going, as we're becoming that home court for pickleball connection. So it can turn into online matching, turning into the real world rallies and real world events. So we're just changing people's lives for the better, and so and it's a common interest, right?
And I feel like, you kind of mentioned, like, again, it's not just for finding a romantic partner, it's for building those connections. But that actually, if you keep that in mind, it lessens the pressure of dating too, and dating someone who has that same hobby that you might see again on the court, even though maybe your date didn't go well, or you didn't want to progress forward with them, right? Like, a lot of times your date could go great and you just don't have that chemistry with them regardless. And yet this lessens the pressure, I guess. I think for me, like, I'm thinking about this in a very selfish way, because I'm like, oh, how could I use this app, and how am I going to feel through it? But I think there's a lot more pressure when you're on like a dating app that's specific to just dating. And I try to go into new dates, like, just trying to with a positive mindset, like, okay, if this doesn't work, at least I'm building a new connection. I maybe learned a new restaurant that I like, or I've heard, like, they told me a new book that they've read, or something where I can come out of the experience not feeling like I wasted my time or their time. So I try to, like, okay, and what value can I add to this person? So did I share something with them, or I have to keep a positive mindset. Otherwise dating's like the worst thing in the world. And so uncomfortable. But I think in this regard, that is kind of nice. This lessens the pressure. Like, oh, okay, well, at least I got to go play pickleball. At least I got to be on the court and, just make a new connection with somebody. And if it wasn't a good time, it wasn't a good time. I mean, I think we find that at Open Play, right? Like, not even through a dating app. You go to Open Play and or a matchmaking app or something, and it's like, well, that guy was kind of a dick, or,
What's nice too is it doesn't cost a lot of money. I mean, you could go to an outdoor court and it wouldn't cost either partner or either person any money. Mm-hmm. So a guy isn't losing out on a dinner.
Or a girl.
as safety, where comes safety first too. That's one thing I want to, that, you know, you know, I know, Destiny, you're smart enough. You're not going to have someone pick you up your house or anything. But like when you go on a date, you know, you probably can tell your girlfriend, hey, bro, like I'm going on a date. This, you know, just be like, are you going to be available just in case something
right
happen? But you don't have to do that when you're going to meet someone on a pickleball court.
right
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's 100% true. I think there's a joke out there, right? Like girls will send their friend like, I'm so excited for this date, but just in case he's a serial killer, I'm sharing my location. But I share my location with a couple of friends if I'm going on a new date with somebody, even if I am somewhere in a public location. You just never know.
Yeah. This with just, you know, we're not just changing dating, we're changing how people are, you know, how they meet through movement and community. That's it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much.